It is great to be back in the studio after a short day off yesterday. A lot happening in the news, a lot to tell you guys about. I was on Fox News over the weekend. I'm going to tell you about that and so much more. There's this story about the Mozilla CEO, former CEO now, Brendan Eich, who has resigned. And Mozilla is, of course, the company that creates the Firefox browser and other digital products. And this all stemmed from a $1,000 contribution that Ike made 5 or 6 years ago to Proposition 8. So this is considered by anybody who is a believer that if you don't want gay people to be able to be married, that is an anti-gay donation. That's the definition I'm using for whether something is anti-gay or not. If you're against equality, then that when it comes to gays and lesbians, then you are anti-gay. So the contribution was made. And this became the primary topic of discussion around Brendan Eich taking over as CEO of Mozilla. And eventually he resigned. And this threw the right wing into an absolute frenzy. And they were alleging everything from Brendan Eich was bullied to there is a gay mafia that is pushing out anyone with so-called traditional beliefs. And I just don't even know where to start in breaking down the absurdity of so many of the comments that have been made. First of all, for anyone who wants to say that this was in any way a violation of free speech, let's just get this out of the way before we even start. The government had no involvement at all in limiting Brendan Eich's speech or his ability to donate. He spoke. And he donated, and if you believe money is speech, that was yet another way in which he was speaking. This was a business decision. It was Ike's decision to step down. I would concede that there was probably a discussion where he was told, you may want to think about stepping down. That is not bullying. It is offensive when talking about something like this to say that he was bullied when there are actual suicides and deaths that take place as the result of anti-gay bullying. I think that is an absolutely offensive term to be using. And this ultimately came down to a private organization, right? Mozilla deciding, or publicly traded company. In either case, the rules apply. These are independent organizations, not influenced by the government, but making the decision that was going to be best for them as an organization. Trust was clearly broken with the constituents of Mozilla, be it clients, be it users of their software, be it employees or third-party developers, whoever it is. Clearly there was a situation where the donation became the primary topic of discussion. I was on right-wing conservative radio, and I was asked, well, they're wasting the talent, the tech talent and the management talent. And I said, hey, it's a free market of ideas. Whatever tech talent and management talent Brendan Eich has was superseded by this anti-gay donation 5 or 6 years ago, and that's the free market dictating the result. Now, a surprising number of right-wingers don't seem to understand the difference between firing someone for being born gay or being born black or being disabled versus firing someone for being discriminatory to groups of people. That's not what this was. Remember, Brendan Eich resigned, but I've had right-wingers, I've been doing a lot of interviews around this, say, well, so then you should, of course, be okay with someone getting fired for being gay, right? And it just boggles the mind that this is the point of view that so many on the right are taking. Discrimination versus firing someone for some characteristic about them that is not something that they have done that is offensive. Imagine if it was a donation to the KKK. Is everyone going to be standing up in the exact same way, or are they going to say, hey, listen, the market kind of decided that being in favor of donating to the KKK just isn't really palatable right now to our constituents. There is also the undertone of the Christian right being persecuted in this country. There's a group called Faith-Driven Consumer, and they launched a campaign which wants to explore whether you have to have a pro-gay view to work at Mozilla, whether the next CEO will be asked about his views on homosexuality. This is so absurd. Remember, it is not against Mozilla policy to be against gay marriage. I would guarantee there are some employees of Mozilla that aren't in favor of gay marriage, or at least I would be incredibly surprised if nobody there was against gay marriage. The difference is when you're an employee at some other level other than CEO and you hold that view, that's one thing. Being the CEO and contributing $1,000 to a discriminatory policy, Proposition 8, is very different because as CEO, we live in a world where not only is your resume important, not only is your education important, but your views on the issues of the day can matter. It is a free market of ideas, and it's just amazing that the Mozilla situation seems to be emblematic in some sense of what conservatives want when it comes to Hobby Lobby. Hey, independent organization, let them do whatever they want, et cetera, et cetera. And now all of a sudden, are they advocating some kind of special protection for homophobes? I really don't get it, and it's amazing. You should see my inbox over the last few days.